Hi everybody, Levergun Bum. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're returning to the channel, welcome back. Today I'm talking about salvaging your brass and bullets when you've had a failure to fire due to a bad primer. This issue was brought up a few days ago, or maybe weeks ago now, when I did a demonstration on my Winchester 1894 Trapper shooting 45 Colt. I had 2 rounds in that sequence of fire that failed to fire due to bad primers. These primers were part of a batch of Winchester primers that I received from Brownells a few years ago. Brownells was awesome. They either refunded me or sent me a new batch of primers and said, get those bad primers out of your collection. But I have now switched to CCI and have had no further issues. Today we're going to talk about how to salvage this brass and this bullet and the powder that's inside, because everything in this little combination is perfectly fine other than this spent primer. I hit this primer 3 times, it failed to detonate, so I'm running on the assumption right now that this shell is safe to unload. I've done this dozens of times, and as always, the responsibility for safe reloading is yours and yours alone. So please be safe. The bullet puller comes pre-packaged with some collets and instructions and more information on the reverse side of that advertising placard. The quick and easy bullet puller will allow you to salvage a number of cartridges, probably to your heart's content. They've got everything here from the smallest 17 Remington all the way up to 50-70 government. I don't even know what that is. I do know what 45-70 government is. So at any rate, today I'll be using a number 2 collet, which is already installed over here, if you can see that, in the puller, and we'll get to it. So if you guys have been with me on the Winchester 1894 Trapper video, I had 2 rounds that failed to fire, and this is one of them. As a test of the stability of this primer, I proceeded to hit it 3 times with a firing pin, and it never discharged. So I'm calling this a very dead primer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead here and open up my bullet puller. And there's the number 2. This is called the number 2 collet by the good folks at the Frankfurt Armory. And this is designated by the fact that this has what they're calling 2 grooves here. It looks like 3 grooves to me, but if you can see, I hope you can make that out. There's little grooves here around the aperture opening for this shell. But the shell, which is a straight case 45 long Colt, is going to slide right in here. And then it's going to go into the bullet puller. And then I'm going to cap the bullet puller. Okay. And this is what it looks like there. There it is. So our shell is now enclosed in this bullet puller. And I just want to remind everyone, utilize PPE, personal protective equipment, sufficient to the task at hand. When you're handling primers, when you're handling reloading, always make sure to wear your eyewear. It's really critical. You only got 2 eyes, you want to keep them. Now operated much like a hammer, this side is going to impact, and those reverberations and vibrations are slowly, with time, going to massage the bullet out of the brass shell. And you're going to do this because this is a hardened plastic. You're going to want to do this on a piece of wood. So I've got a little piece of 2x4 here, and we'll demonstrate this. And just to reiterate, right now, this shell is in the collet. And this up and down action is going to assist in dislodging this stuck bullet. Now, for the sake of the production, I'll open it up and see if we can observe that bullet coming loose at all. Whoops, where the heck is my camera? And it's not. Okay, so we just keep going here. Got to be patient here. This takes a while. Okay, guys, the bullet shook out. I don't know if you can hear it in here or not. The bullet's stuck in the bottom. With that action, hitting action, the bullet has come out of the cartridge. But this is what it looks like, okay? So this is a perfectly good brass case that I've probably used dozens of times over the years, and I'm certainly not about to throw this away. Keep your brass. And in the bottom here, I don't know if this will get picked up or not. It's hard for me to see. But in the bottom here is a few cc's of IMR 700X and my little slug. Okay, we'll go take a look at that. Earlier today, I went ahead and salvaged this round, and using the method that I've demonstrated for you, I went ahead and dumped the contents of that shell into this receptacle here. So you can see the 45 slug, and you can see the powder flakes of what I tend to shoot, which is my IMR 700X. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna open up your bullet puller. Here's our shell with our primer in it. Okay, we can set this off to the side. Hopefully the camera can pick it up. And then you're going to take your puller here and you're just going to dump this in. And all our residual powder and our little slug go into that receptacle, that Tupperware container. Okay, and there you go. There's our 2 salvaged slugs. And I'm going to take these slugs out Set these to the side, and then you can go ahead and open up your container and safely recover that powder. Being of the homesteader, prepper, bushcraft nature, we want to save and preserve and conserve and recycle what we can as a principle unto itself, and as a matter of there very often being shortages these days of necessary firearms components and firearms themselves. Okay, guys, for popping out these primers, the simplest game in town is your Cowboy Press. This one was made by Lee. But you just got this little receptacle for the shell. Excuse my lack of technical terminology. I can't stay on top of all this stuff. And you're just going to take this little poker here. Probably got an official name, something like a primer extractor. And this pin is just going to mate inside to the inside of that primer. And you're going to pop it out. Just a couple quick taps. Okay. See how that works? Sans primer. Primer's in here. Wasn't there. Here it is, guys. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, guys, in the second and remaining shell, to DePrime it, I'm going to put it into my Lee turret press. And my casing with that spent primer is going to seat inside here. Okay. And it's going to get pushed up here into the receiving end. Let's rotate this thing over, okay? I apologize for the lighting, folks. And we're just going to push this thing right up. And that primer is going to travel down into this receptacle. And we're going to have ourselves, put this a DePrime shell. Let's bring that into the light. There we go. Okay, guys, I hope this video is helpful for you. This is, in my mind, bushcraft, preppercraft, homesteading. It's just prudent. Recycling these rounds for cents on the dollar. 45 long Colt anymore cowboy rounds are over $1 a round. I would imagine that any of the straight case pistol calibers that are very popular today in the realm of cowboy shooting or even hunting or self-defense are very expensive. Why spend that money? Learn a craft, learn a trade, learn to reload, keep your brass. This is part of the ethos of the homesteader, the prepper, the bushcrafter. These rounds today and the powder that's over there and the slugs that were in here, they're all being recycled, and they'll turn into something like this, 2 of my 180 grain hard cast lead rounds. Hope this helps you, and as always, God bless you, and God bless America.